channel. My name is Becca. If you are new here, I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom. We just wrapped up homeschool and I thought I would do a mid-year just what's working and things that we love and things that we may not be using next year. I have a K and first grade, so I'll share just some of the things that we've used this year and the things that I've used with both of my littles that we absolutely adore, and things that maybe we've purchased and used and just kind of didn't quite hit that mark. It's gonna be kind of all over the place. I'm just gonna share things in no particular order. If I can find a link to anything, I'll leave it down below. None of this is sponsored. I just genuinely love sharing homeschool items, so I will just pick at random and start there. We do use the Good and the Beautiful, so I've been using them since my oldest was in preschool, kindergarten, first grade, all of that. That is our core subject curriculum. And I do supplement all things from different curriculum and kind of piece it together. But for math and English and writing and all of those things, we do stick to the Good and the Beautiful. I love that it's open to go. I'm not gonna do a flip through. I'm just gonna share what we use. So I use the kindergarten prep. This one is actually super short. I feel like this one is, let's see how many lessons, 25? I think this one is 28 lessons. The Good and the Beautiful is amazing. It's super colorful, very bright. Literally everything you need is in the book. It's open and go. Start with the pre-K and then preschool. They kind of piggyback off of each other. I like how they flow. The pre-K book itself, throw this video together before lunchtime. So the pre-K book is 53 lessons, and then the preschool book itself, I think this one is 86. And again, it's super colorful. I love that there's pictures, there's color, all of the illustrations, the pictures are super pretty. They include so much in here. I'll do flip throughs if you're interested, but love that curriculum. If you rave all the time about workbooks, I love workbooks are so much fun, but they're also a way to gain a little bit of independence, especially at a young age if you're homeschooling. And you also need to teach your little ones how to be a little bit independent about getting their work out, getting things done. And I just think workbooks are a really great place to start, but they're also a way to keep a little one busy if you're working with somebody else. I think I used the Learning Resources. That's one of my favorite brands. Again, not sponsored, but I love this brand. Everything I've ever purchased from this brand we have adored. There is an already for kindergarten readiness. I use this with my first and with my second, and this is something that I use, like I can set up, it's kind of like a one-stop shop. It's got letter tracing in here, there's math in here, there's, you know, what letter does this start with, to fill in the ABCs. Story starters when they really start to write and trace. There's shape sorting. It's kind of like a busy book, but it's like an all-in-one, so this is a really great place to start. And it's dry erase if you have multiple kids, and you know, it comes with so many different learning manipulatives in the box. I'll try to put a picture somewhere up here, but they have kindergarten, first grade, preschool, they have summer kids. All of them are super reasonably priced, and that's where we started before we got into actually getting curriculum. I think my first was 3 when I started something like this with preschool. So those are a great place to start. If you're getting into homeschooling, I would definitely recommend those because it's kind of like everything is just there ready for you. And look out for Costco. Costco always has really good, like, back to homeschool or back to school. They get really cool stuff. We've had these for absolutely forever. I feel like every homeschool has some sort of, every homeschool home has some sort of like shapes and shape sorters. They're super simple. The Good and the Beautiful, I think Math Box 1 comes with shapes in it, so don't buy them separate if you're going to do like first grade or level 1. But these ones, I think we got them off Amazon forever ago. I love this one because it comes with literally so many different cards, and on the back of the card it shows you the pieces you need, and then it will actually tell you the word and how to build it. So there's shapes and animals and bugs like hamburger. It's a really great way to work on letter recognition. You can count with these. You can, when your child's reading, you can work on reading. And there's so many different things you can do with those. So that is a great place to start because you can use them for anything. Again, this is in no particular order. I literally just have a bunch of stuff in front of me, but I'm getting ready to clean out our homeschool cabinet, and I have a whole stack of next year's stuff ready to go. So before I do that haul, I was like, let me just take things out and kind of checkpoint things that are working and things that we've loved and used for quite some time. I don't remember the name of the Oh, that's on the front. This is Tinkletots Montessori. We bought this for my first, gosh, when he was like 2, like a long time ago. It's my first busy book, and my kids, it's really good quality. I've never had an issue with it. It tells you about the company here, and I think this is the only one that they make. I wish they would come out with another one. So there's ABCs in here, and they're already like Velcro. You don't have to do anything. There's the numbers, so counting, you can do colors. There's so many things you can do with these. There's counting, and then there's shapes, shape sorting, days of the week. This is like an amazing start. Months of the year, and they're so cute. The pictures are super, super sweet. The weather, there's seasons. Do a quick flip through because I adore this. How are you feeling today? I love this one. It's just good to check in with your little one, teach them about the emotions, body parts, and then shape, or short to tall, so you're like measuring, and then there's patterns. I wish they would come out with another one because I would totally purchase it. We have gotten so much use out of this book, and honestly it still looks brand new. I'm surprised because I wipe it down all the time, and it comes with this really handy case. All of the pieces are in here, so my boys love taking it apart and putting it all back together. Another thing that I love are these Scholastic flashcards. My husband found these and he was like $4 on Amazon, super cheap. $50 or 50 words. $50 would be crazy. But they're sight words and they're dry erase. They're huge. I love that the colors are bright, the words are big. If you have a little one that's learning how to write and tracing, I don't love throwing just a black and white piece of paper like, hey, trace this, like this is fun. They have a picture, there's a sentence, you can talk about it. My youngest and my oldest caught on to these very, very quickly. So they're also teaching sight words or learning to read. I just feel like flashcards are a really good place to start. I know they can get a bad rap, but you can teach them in different ways. You don't have to teach memorization, but I love that there's 50, and it's a broad range of sight words. It's not like all of the typical ones that you see, and they wipe clean. So these are a definite must. I love those. If you remember, I remember in school my teachers use these all the time. Brain Quest. These are again something super reasonable. I'm trying this year to, last year and this year, started branching out into things I hope were a little bit more engaging for my kids and not so much to sit down and do your book work. So Brain Quest, these are just fun. We haven't used them as often as I like, but I would like to start putting them. I'm gonna try to put a morning basket together. Let me know if you have a morning basket. I would love to know. We recently added this whiteboard in our dining room. That's where I'm sitting now. That's where we always end up doing school. Sometimes we do it on the floor, at the table, you name it, but we always end up at the table. So this just has come in so handy. But Brain Quest, I don't need to say much about it. There's just a bunch of quiz information on here. I learn new things, my kids learn something, and it's just a great way to interact with your kid instead of just using a workbook all the time, giving them a pencil or a marker and saying, here, write this answer and tell me what to say. Just sit down and talk about things. And while they're playing, you can literally, you don't even have to quiz them. You can just read them. Reading. My kids love like super quick information. They're very curious, just like any other child. I think the brand is Discovery Kids. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll have to look it up. They have My Very Important World. We have one encyclopedia I got at Costco and we love it, but I was hoping that it was like a little bit, it's super child friendly, but I feel like child friendly, maybe like 8, 9, 10, 11. There's a lot more words, and I wanted my kids to open these, and they are super picture heavy. So if they're just flipping through a book or they want a quick, informational lesson, it's not something that I have to like draw up and write a bunch of stuff and hand out, a handout and be like, hey, this is, a sit down structured lesson. These are just things that we can talk about and I can read. So I think it's the Discovery Kids, the DK brand. They have the My Very, and then there's the Important Human Body, which I think is something that we're going to be branching into a lot this year. The sun is coming out, so forgive me. It's like super, super gloomy. The sun comes out, the sun comes and goes. So it's just, there's a lot of words obviously, but the pictures are super bright and it's colorful and they can kind of grasp things, but they are quick. My Very Important World, which I love this one, it's so super cool. There's the My Very Important Things. It's literally like everything. I think there's one with like myths and legends, and I'm sure there's more, but I love those. I'll link those down below because I think those are definitely worth having in your homeschool library. This is totally random. I just checked the time and I'm like, oh, this is here. The Yoto Player. The Yoto Player is a new additions come in so handy. There's like a radio on here. You can purchase cards. I know the Tony box is Little People, but the Yoto Player has cards. There's radio. Love, love, love this. If I'm putting the kids, I sit the kids down for handwriting or something like that, it's a great way to start the morning. They can control the radio and you can control everything from an app on your phone. I adore this, and I feel like this is not necessary, but I feel like this is one of those fun things that we're able to include in our homeschool. I think fun for them to listen to while they're playing. This is, kids are watching Leapfrog, so if you hear the bells. For math, the number line whiteboard, I was constantly drawing a number line in the school book, but I'm like, no, we need a whiteboard. These are super cost effective. They're so inexpensive. And it's got a place to do like addition and subtraction. My kids love these, so these are great. I need more of these. I think I only have 50, and these are just math counting blocks. You can literally find these everywhere. I'll try to find some down below, but I would say check like the Target dollar spot, or maybe even Dollar Tree. I have yet to see them at Dollar Tree. I think I got these last year at Target for like $3, and there was 50 in the set. I only got one, I don't know why, but they're just the little math counting cubes. I think Learning Resources has a set. I'm sure you can find these anywhere, but these are honestly, they're just fun building blocks, and your kid can count with them as well. And I like that they're bright. Anything bright and colorful, like, I will always go with that option, especially for my littles. Going back to the Good and the Beautiful, they came out with history. I cannot wait to get their history. I think they redid history curriculum, or it's a new curriculum set. I'm not sure. Their science though, I know that came out recently, and we ended up purchasing science for the little hearts and hands, and we love this one. This is the Wind and Waves. No, I want the Wind and Waves. This one is Sparks and Stars. It comes with a teacher guide, big book of stories, and if you're just going to read to your kids, why not read them? Again, quick information. The pictures and illustrations, I feel like that's like hands down one of the reasons why I love the Good and the Beautiful. Their illustrations are gorgeous. So it's got Tower of Atoms, Gravity, Kira's Sunrise, Venues and Volcanoes. It's very easy to read. There's great pictures, so it grabs your little's attention, but there may be like 5 or 10 minute stories, give or take how often you stop and answer questions, or how often you stop and say, hey, you know, what did you think about that? Or what did you learn? Do you have any questions? They're just, I love how they're very well structured stories, so they compress a lot of information, but into an engagement. There's an opening, and then it says, here's the story time. It gives them sort of suggestions. And then there's discussion questions, and then there's an optional activity, and some of them actually do come with different activities, and it'll give you, some of them are things you can just cut out and it'll help you put the activity together, or it'll tell you, hey, you know, make this airplane and try to do it this way, throw it up, or what do you notice? And it's so well put together, and it's one less thing that I have to plan because it's already here and it's already done. I just have to grab the book, maybe glance at it the night before, grab the things that I need to do, make sure I read it so I know how I'm explaining it when I'm reading to my kiddos and how to answer those questions. But love that times with curriculums where you can find out where, you know, what level your child's at. So Math K, Math 1, Level 1, Level 2, we have all of the math books thus far that we've needed. And again, their math actually comes with math boxes, which all your learning manipulatives. And if you start to price these out, oh my goodness, it can cost quite a bit. You can go to, like, you know, if you're teaching younger, you can go to Dollar Tree and Target and do all those things. Their math boxes used to look like this, the clock broke, but they have everything in here. Like, there's money and shapes and clocks and boats. I love their math. Those games, they're heavy on games, and it's so important that it's interactive and engaging at this age. Their math blocks are now compressed, which is great for storage. If you have multiple kids, you know how fast you run out of storage. There's a little magnetic close, not that that matters, but nice and easy for cleanup. There's literally everything in here. I do supplement with workbooks just because I think it's fun to switch it up. I'm the type of personality that I don't like to do the same thing every day. So there are some days where we will do like science and history, but then we'll do work out of these as well on top of the Good and the Beautiful. You can move through those pretty quickly, take your child's pace, obviously, but a few times I did this with my youngest and I did this with my oldest. Don't get the spiral. I got that because some kids like to put their pages back up, some kids don't. So it just depends. The paperback ones without the spiral obviously are cheaper, but counting, there's numbers, there's shapes, there's letters, there's patterns, letter recognition, everything in here. They're quick easy. It's a really quick thing, and especially if you're going to take school, like if you're traveling for the day or you want to go to the park, like that's just a really cool way to get in some schoolwork, but you're not taking like all of your books with you. We have Big Reading 1 and 2. I love this brand, the School Zone brand. Those are like the only ones that I tend to find work well with my children. We have Big Math 1 and 2, Big Reading, and then Big Spelling. This one is coming in handy. I love this. If you have any spelling games or curriculum, anything that you've implemented with your littles, level 1, any suggestions down below. I want to dive a little bit more into spelling. This is one of the things, I don't have very many things that didn't work this year so far, and we might come back to this. This was not our favorite. This is not something that was like a home run. It's math games. It's not a curriculum. I've heard hit or miss with Kumon. It's very well put together, but I find it's a little lackluster. So we haven't really done a lot in this book, and I'm gonna save it maybe for my second, or maybe it might be something that he enjoys, but it's just, it says you practice addition and subtraction by solving puzzles. I think we get a little bit more out of this one versus this one. So if you have any suggestions with a math workbook or math games, we love games. We're diving into games this year. I'd love to be teaching a little bit more through game and through play. So a lot of just like random things here at the end. The Good and the Beautiful came out with, so there's activity workbooks, and I don't know why I didn't buy 2. Raining again. There's 5, I think. Maybe there's more. I'm not sure. I'll have to look online. There's geology. My boys love digging for rocks. They're constantly finding rocks. They have big rock collections. Healthy and the physical body, or health and the physical body. There's ecosystems, weather and water, and then botany. These are going to be so much fun. I don't know why I didn't buy 2. I have to go back, because if I get 1 for 1, I get 1 for 2. They're super, super cute, and I actually do like that these are black and white. This is a really, really simple way to implement some sort of lesson. So there's just like, you can color the objects, and these can go along with anything. You can put a lesson together out of the encyclopedia, tear a page out of here, but these are just going to be really fun. I love to buy things off of Etsy and Teachers Be Teachers. I'll talk about that in a second, but I am constantly buying lessons off of there, and this year I finally came up with a system so I don't have to keep reprinting everything. But if I buy something where my kids are like, hey, you know, I'd like to learn about birds, like last year we did a frog lesson and we dissected the frog, maybe I can pull something out of one of these to go along with that. So that's what I have those for. And you know, sometimes you're on the go and you need to do a quick lesson, or you know, your kids want to color, but you're like, hey, maybe we can kind of turn this into a really fun science day. Let's learn about the rocks that we're taking out outside. You know, that's the whole point of doing homeschool, is being able to implement lessons and some sort of way to teach your child while they're just doing everyday life. So I have to get a second set of those, but I love those books. We've used them a little bit, but we haven't really dived into them yet, so I'm excited for that. On the teacher side are just 3-inch binders. I'm not going to talk too much about these. These are just honestly great for me to organize. And then I went through and got a ton of dividers. I feel like I'm back in high school, but these are just going to save my sanity when I talk about teachers and Etsy buying lessons, and I feel like this is the best way for me to organize them. So if you're in the same boat, maybe you can use this system. It's nothing riveting, nothing new. You're watching Leapfrog. We've loved Leapfrog the last week or so. It's a great way to get lining in again, but our kids are having a little bit of straight beginning. I tried to put these together and I would fall asleep trying to put things together on Canva. I edit a lot for YouTube on Canva, and I've made a few things on Etsy, but I respect so much how much people put into these lessons on Teachers Be Teachers and Etsy. And that is one of those things that I would love, hands down, that I used to pay out of pocket for. We are with a charter, and they do ever so graciously pay for some of these lessons, so it is amazing. Anyways, back to my love for these dividers, is it's going to save my sanity. I have one 3-inch binder for like science and random like science or history. If my kids ask me about something like the Arctic, and hey, you want to do a lesson about that? Absolutely. They want to learn about dinosaurs, I'll go find something, and then we'll turn it into something that we work on for a few days. So spring, we are obviously heavily into spring and planting and doing the garden, so I have a huge lesson in this binder, and I've already printed it out. It's all ready to go, and I may not use everything this year, but guess what? If I want to use it again, it's right here. So I have spring. We did my kids were obsessed with birds and woodpeckers. We did this last year, so I printed it out and I saved it. I don't want to reprint all of the color and waste the ink. And I got a ton of plastic protector sheets just in case I have like multiple birds. I have a whole animal section, a spring section. So I have a lot of empty space in here, but I'm hoping that as I buy the lessons, I can just have a backlog and hopefully not repurchase, because I've definitely done that when I go to my like your cart or your purchases and Teachers Pay Teachers or Etsy, and it's like, okay, I already purchased something like that. The other thing I will say is organization for holidays. I've always printed out like Martin Luther King Day, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, fall, Christmas, like so many different things, and I printed them out for holidays. So I have a binder down here for all of the holidays that I want to print one time. It's ready to go. I don't have to print them out the night before, week before, when I have 50 other things on my mind. I purchase it and then I forget to print it, or I didn't order ink and I don't have it. It's already ready to go, and a lot of that includes like decorations for the board and things like that. So a great way to just stay organized as a mom and as a teacher. Just my little like piece of advice if you like to purchase things online, because I love and adore outside lessons like from other moms. And one is like another way to support other moms who are creating. Oh my gosh, I have so much respect for it. It takes so much time to get everything right. Morning menus, that's a great place to find morning menus. On to something random. Reading, we're almost done here. So again, it's all over the place, so thank you for having grace with me while I put this together. I literally just grabbed everything that I could find that we are loving and or not quite loving. There's only one thing I think thus far that didn't really like hit the nail on the head. I don't know how you say it. Magic Treehouse, we have started reading. My goal is to read one of these like every few days. Yes, they're a little old. I have a 6 and a 4-year-old, and my 6-year-old can read. These are a little bit heavy, like chapter wise. He could, but I like read alouds, and I'm trying to read aloud more often. And so we have both sets of the Magic Treehouse. We are starting off with the first box set. I'll leave a picture somewhere. I think there's 25 books. My kids love these, and they even hold the attention of my 4-year-old. They're super, super cute. So there's like Mummies in the Morning. We read that one, was cute. High Tide in Hawaii, Day in the Life of a Dragon King. There's so many things. The last thing I will say is a little passports, like subscription box. This is amazing for history or like geography. It's a subscription service that comes to your door. Again, not sponsored. I just love this. It comes with a book, so a chapter book you can read to your child. It comes with an activity. It comes with a recipe, like an activity guide about a different country every month, and each month you get a new coin. You can fill out the coin, and there's so much information in here, so it's a really great way to have history at your door. Same thing for science. I just did a video about Mel sites. You can check it out. I'll leave it down below. Leave me in the comments any of your favorites for your age group or an upcoming age group. We're going into level 2 and 3. If you guys enjoyed this video, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Wait, so before we do close up the video, I had a huge mess in front of me and totally forgot that I took these out. My kids have absolutely been loving these things for the last few months. This is the Magic Adventures, the Leapfrog Globe. I love this because it's electronic. It does also aid in their curiosity, but it is also another tool for independent learning. Levels on here, so my 4-year-old will just grab this and point the pointer all over the globe and just listen to facts. And I love that some of them stick with him, but it's also just really fun for him to feel like he's traveling all around the world. My 6-year-old actually really loves to do the quiz show, and he just gets to learn a ton of random facts by pushing any of the landmarks all around. He can learn about different bodies of water, different countries, different landmarks, and things like that. This is a wonderful tool. I really like this because, again, it's one of those things that my kids are playing with, but they're also just learning and just being curious. It's not something that we have to sit down and do a lesson, but it's at their fingertips if they feel like they are curious and want to look at things under a microscope. It does talk to your children, but I love that they can just grab these and just kind of go crazy with their curiosity with all the different types of animals and bugs that are in here. So I love that. It's super cute. And this cash register, this has been a really big hit with learning resources again, but this is one that I love because it is not only just a cash register, there are actually games on here. So it will ask your child to insert a dime, insert a quarter, or make a certain amount of change, and you can play games with your kids, but it's just a really fun way to incorporate money. But I love that the money does actually represent money that we do use. So it's true to size, and the coins look pretty close to what real coins look like. My kids love playing with this. They'll play with it, and then sometimes we'll sit down and do games with it. So again, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what your favorite was, or if you enjoyed this. I will see you guys in the next one.